Hello and welcome to the John Johnson Report. I'm your host, John Johnson. Joining me today in the studio is John. We also have with us John, coming live from his mansion in Los Angeles. John? Thanks for having me, John. And also, live via satellite, we're joined by John. John? Alright then, let's begin our conversation. John, what do you feel about the, situation? Well, John, it's an interesting thing. You should point out that, even though, John... Hey, John, listen, ease up on the name-calling. I don't need that type of attitude from you. So, John, regarding those numbers, I hear they're numerical. You know, that reminds me of a story, John.
Apparently my suit's come unbuttoned. I will have someone in wardrobe slaughtered. John?
Recent developments have shown that, numbers will go up. What do you think about this, John? Listen, John, I realize the numbers may have risen, but don't expect them to stay high for very long. I think we know we're all about to lose very, very many. Speaking of which, I'm gonna have to throw it to you, John. John, to answer your question, I'm gonna have to, Hey, John, I know it's a sore subject, John, but, please stop it. I don't like it when people cry. Emotions scare me. Like spiders. Listen to me, John. It's gonna be okay.
I'm gonna have to respond with a question of my own. Have you ever clubbed a baby seal?
No, John. I don't think so. John, it looks pretty cold out there. How are things on your end?
It's freezing out here.
You know, John, if it got any colder, I'd think you were a snowman. Back to you, John.
Listen, John. If I may be so frank, although I am John. John. No, John.
You know,
yes, I'm gonna have to, disagree. Numbers, although large, can sometimes fool you. Take the number 3, for instance. One time I wrote down the number 3 and thought it was a snake. John?
Thank you, John. That was quite informative. But John, there's one last thing I think you should know. Our producer is telling me right now that, John, we're running low on time. I'm gonna have to cut this interview a bit short. I'm sorry. Hopefully we got a lot done today. Wish we could have done a lot more. So, speaking for John, and John, thanks for having me, John. And also our reporter in the field, John.
Thanks for having me, John.
And from his luxurious mansion in San Francisco, John.
Always a pleasure, John.
Thank you. And good night. My name has been John Johnson, and it should be for a long time. Good night.